your video. And again, a lot of things are really close. Look, you're going to have a steeper downswing. You're a shoulder planer, and that's just the way it's going to be. A lot of great players are shoulder planers. John Daly, John Senden, one of the best ball strikers in the game, is a shoulder planer. So, you know, what you think is steep is not necessarily too steep. It's really that you don't keep enough depth in your swing, and you don't keep enough flexion in your posture early in the downswing. And so your shoulders start leveling out too much in the downswing. So, you know, again, posture's pretty good at address now, but when you're going up to the top of the backswing, it's not the level shoulders really that's an issue. It's more that you sort of stand up a little bit, and when you do that, you know, if your shoulders are level but you keep this secondary tilt and you go to the top, then you're going to find that in the transition you're going to keep more secondary tilt. You're going to have what we call flexion in the spine or more crunch in the spine, and all that makes it easier for the club to come down and get before you start posturing up. Your posture up move's actually good, but it is happening a little bit early because you don't keep enough flexion during the first half of the downswing because you stand up out of it. And so, you know, really what you want to like, you actually have this secondary tilt to the right, your butt's a little bit more towards the target, your spine's a little bit more, you know, leaning away from the target. Start down, you actually, because at the top of the backswing, even golfers that have that second at this point, in the second half of the backswing, they're going to go into extension in their spine. And so, but most players do it without standing up like you're out of it. And that's because they have the right amount of secondary tilt. So if you've got that secondary tilt, goes in the extension in the top of the backswing, during the downswing there's this almost this little bit of a crunch move. So as the arms are coming down, there's a little bit of this crunch move, and what that does is it actually keeps the shoulders aligned more to the right also. So that allows you to bring it more down from the inside, but it also allows you to shallow it and to make sure you don't get outside too soon. So what ends up happening in your case is you've stood up, go back into some flexion, but it's turning as it does that, so that by the time your lead arm's parallel to the ground, your shoulders are almost square already. And I'll send you a picture of John Senden. When he gets to that position, his shoulders are actually still well off to the right. And that's because he's kept this flexion in the downswing that's allowed his shoulders to stay to the right. And then that allows the arms and hands to get down further before you go up into the posture up move. And that's all that together is what's actually going to get you to shallow out your swing. You can try all day long to shallow out your swing and you'll never shallow out your swing. But if you get the posturing right, if you create those secondary tilts, but you feel flexion in the transition as you're sort of getting back on both, your legs are flexed. You also want to like this crunch move in the transition. And that's going to allow you to keep that club coming more down from the inside. And then when you posture up, you can use that posture up for power. So that's really the thing you want to do, is create more of that secondary tilt, get that flexion in the downswing so you feel like you can come a little bit more from the inside. And you will feel like you don't actually posture up too soon, so things just don't look overly extended too early, you know, in the downswing.